All right. This is Dr. Bhupesh from Dr. BKM Institutes once again. Again, the same message that you have to listen to the recordings at least 2 times, and if you can listen to it 3 times, that is even better. So now we are going to start up with another letter. Let's see. Again, that letter has been created by some institute pass OET, so we do give credit to these institutes who are preparing such good papers. But we are here to solve the answer paper. That is the most important thing, and that is what we are brilliant at. And so I'm just going to start up this journey with this thing. So again, the most important thing in any letter is to whom we are writing the letter. Write a letter to the charge nurse rehabilitation ward. So obviously we can understand that if we are writing the letter to the rehabilitation ward, that means patient would have gone through some major injury or would have gone through some major operation, and then he was hospitalized. Later on he was shifted to rehabilitation ward. That is what rehabilitation ward is all about. That patient once recovers, not completely, but once recovers in a better shape, then the patient is sent to the rehabilitation ward for the further recovery. So let's see. So the first thing we have got, that we have to suppose write a letter to the charge nurse. Again, we are known to all these things that letter should be 180 200 words. I have already told you it should be around 200 words only. But please do not write 180 words, because 180 words are too less for the examiner to grade you. So it appears to be a very small letter, though you have fulfilled the condition, but still all the people should write at least 200 words. If by chance it goes to 205, you don't have to erase anything. So I won't say to erase anything. It's better to write it that way only. So write a letter to the charge nurse rehabilitation ward, Henry Hospital, and that is it. And then you have to expand the relevant notes into the complete sentence. ये चीज वैसे हम normally हम discuss नहीं करते हैं कि and do not use the note form. That is what exactly OET is all about. That you would be given the relevant notes, like patient is having this fever, vomiting, nausea. So these are the notes form. We have to complete the forms in sentences. That is how we do. That patient is suffering from A, comma B, comma C, या फिर and C along with D and E. So these are the 5 symptoms that is given: fever, nausea, vomiting. So we will write it. Patient is suffering from fever, nausea, and vomiting along with whatever, along with rigors and chills. So that's it. That is what we can say, that this is how it goes on. That is what OET is all about. You would be given everything. You don't have to create your own thing. You have to go with this whatever has been given, and then you try to complete it in the sentence from that. So that is the only condition they want from you. There can be another thing that might be written in your exam: write 25 lines. So people are misguided by this thing, that 25 lines, they start counting one line, then they say two line, but it is not one two line. One two line means that if you are writing something, where you put the first full stop is your one line. What I mean by that, I am writing this letter regarding Mr. X, who was having this and this thing. So suppose I have consumed 3 lines, but I have not mentioned any full stop. So once I put the full stop, this is my one line. So that is what they are saying. Write no more than 25 lines. So please do not count these lines in this way: one, two, three. So count these lines. The first full stop is one line. So we have just covered one line up to this moment. Why do they say that you have to write 25 lines? They say that 25 lines have to be written. They exactly want to say this thing only. What we were discussing is write relevant notes into complete sentences, use letter format. So these are the two conditions, because when what they want is, वो इस बात से क्या कहना चाहते हैं, that you should use connectors, that I am writing this letter regarding this person who. If you will put the who has been having, so that means you are connecting 2 lines. So if there were like 2 lines, you have made it one line. So that means you obviously would be covering less than 25 lines. So if there is anything given like 25 lines, please do not worry about it. You just write your letter with the help of connectors. That condition will automatically be fulfilled. So if you are using the right connectors like and, but, so, and hence, therefore. So by this thing, obviously if you're using the right connectors, your lines would be less. So obviously you would be writing less than 25 lines. So if there is anything given like 25 lines, do not count it one, two, three, four. Don't count it that way. It is the first full stop you put, and that is the line is counted. And if you will use the connectors, you will have obviously have less lines, so you don't have to worry about this thing as well. I hope you would have understood it. So now we are moving back to the letter. Of course I will take your questions, but I'm doing the recording for everyone, and then I will take your questions, of course, of this thing as well. I hope I have made it clear what 25 line means. So OET letter is all about having the notes form and converting it into the sentence form. So the first thing that we should know, to whom we are writing the letter. So we are writing the letter to the charge nurse. The second thing we should know, what is the discharge plan, because it is the whole thing that is where what a letter stands on, because this tells us the purpose of the letter. So the first thing we should know, to whom. To whom is the charge nurse rehabilitation word. Second thing is the purpose. So what is the purpose? Transfer to rehabilitation ward with knee brace. So there is kind of knee brace, so that means there must be some knee injury or there can be some knee problem for which knee brace has been applied. So we are sending the patient to the rehabilitation ward. Commence intensive rehabilitation to get the patient walking unassisted. So second thing I can understand from this thing, patient must be walking, but with the help of assistance. So now we have to make him walk independently. So unassisted means independently. So I can understand this. Encourage patient to quit smoking to help his Crohn disease. So the third data that becomes important in the medical history is that I will mention about the Crohn disease. Monitor BP twice daily. So he must be having some kind of blood pressure problem. So I have to mention this data as well. So I will this. Discharge home with wife 2 weeks, 2 weeks, after 2 weeks. So that means they are saying that he would be staying in rehabilitation hospital for 2 weeks and then should be discharged after 2 weeks. So maybe in the rehabilitation ward, he's gonna stay there. But this is a confusing line. We will try to avoid it if we cannot write it nicely. Again, in OET, if there is any difficulty, leave it. If there is anything that is big, try to break it. These are the two simple fundamentals of OET letter writing. मुश्किल है तो छोड़ दो, और बड़ा है तो तोड़ दो. That is, if it is difficult, leave it, and if it is big, break it. So that is how OET goes. These are the two important fundamentals of OET that you must know. Again, listen to this recording 3 times to remember this thing in your exam, because in exam we are very anxious and we get allured by the wrong data, because it takes our attention that it is a difficult thing, so we must write. So please remember these two words. If there is any difficulty, leave it, please. If it is difficult but it is very important to be mentioned, so try to break it and write it as simple as you can. Like yesterday there was problem with insomnia. 3 positive insomnias were given, so somebody asked me that how to write this plus 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 insomnia. So I tell the most simple thing, that he had increased insomnia. So I wanted to make it as simple as to avoid any mistake. So that is one of the example. That is what I want to say. So you try to write as simple as you can so that you can avoid any kind of mistakes. So now we have got that we are writing the letter to the charge nurse. So this is the first thing we have understood. And the second thing is we are transferring the patient with the knee brace, helping, and we want him to get rehabilitation therapy, intensive rehabilitation, so that he can walk unassisted, and encourage the patient to quit smoking and monitor blood pressure. So these are the things that we should be selecting from the data that would be given on the front page. Now coming on to the front page, I'm taking this data. I'm taking this data on the from the front page. Let's see what is important. So now I will get to know about the patient. Now I will, first thing I have done, to whom we are writing the letter. Second thing I have done, the purpose of the letter. Now I want to create an image of the patient. Mr. John Lawson is a patient in the orthopedic ward. So I can understand knee की injury थी तो orthopedic ward में ही आया होगा. So that makes me feel at ease. 55 years का है, वाइफ कैरोलिन है जिसके साथ उसको डिस्चार्ज करना है बाद में. डेट ऑफ बर्थ 61 का है, तो ये मेरे को चाहिए नहीं क्योंकि उसकी एज ही आ गई है 55. सो 24th को एडमिट हुआ था, 7 डेज के बाद हमने डिस्चार्ज कर दिया, मार्च में 7-8 डेज के बाद, क्योंकि मार्च में दीज आर 31 डेज. सो 8 डेज के बाद हमने डिस्चार्ज कर दिया है पेशेंट को. डायग्नोसिस क्या था? राइट टोटल नी रिप्लेसमेंट. सो दिस इज द मेन थिंग. सो एंड दीज आर द एडिशनल डिजीजेस he is having. So never write that patient was diagnosed with right total knee replacement and osteoarthritis, hypertension. Never write this way. I'm writing this letter regarding this patient, regarding Mr. Lawson, who was admitted to our hospital for राइट टोटल नी रिप्लेसमेंट. तो इस काम के लिए आया था. सो की लिए के लिए यू पुट फोर. So I am writing this letter regarding Mr. Lawson, who was admitted to our hospital for total knee replacement, yeah, right total knee replacement, and also he was having osteoarthritis, hypertension, and Crohn's disease. That is how you should mention. So this should be the first line. So is a heavy smoker, of course we will write, because it has been given for the Crohn disease that he needs to quit smoking. So I will take this data. Active golfer before the onset of osteoarthritis can be written, can be avoided, up to you. Lives with his wife and son, married but visit often. So we can say that he is living with wife because wife has been given in the discharge plan. So I will like to take this data. Medical history and medications. Total knee replacement 1 week ago. That obviously I can understand that has been done 1 week ago. So that has been given right. Initial PC morphine, but now diagesic. So these were the medications that was being given to the patient. Corticosteroids were given. Captopril was given for the blood pressure maybe. Nicobit patches were given for the smoking. Aspirin was given maybe for the pain. So most of the medications are given, so you can use these medication names or you can enclose that, but try to mention the main names. Main names would be Nicobet batches were given on the sliding scales of 20 mg daily, reducing on the sliding scale, of course. That means we are trying to reduce it. So first it was given 20 mg, then we are trying to reduce it because he's a smoker. So these all lines correlate, that the patient is a smoker and heavy smoker. So that is how you connect the line. During hospitalization, Nicobet patches were given on 20 mg daily, reducing on the sliding scale. So you can write this line: Nicobet patches were given on the reducing sliding scale, starting from 20 mg daily. So that is what you can say. Reducing का मतलब क्या है कि पहले दिन 20 दिया, फिर हमने 15 दिया, फिर हमने 5 दिया. तो reducing on sliding scale का मतलब ये है कि उसको कम करते करते 20 mg से हमने शुरू किया है. सो कैटोपिल 25 mg, prednisone, इनकी अमाउंट मत लिखो, इनको एनक्लोज कर देना, बट ना prednisone and catopil were also given, and also most importantly PCA morphine was started maybe for the pain. So this you can write. बट लेट सी रिहेबिलिटेशन वालों को वो देना है मेडिकेशंस, नहीं मेडिकेशंस नहीं देने, तो मेडिकेशंस को आप एनक्लोज कर दोगे तो आपका लेटर वैसे ही आसान हो जाएगा और अच्छा भी हो जाएगा. लेकिन फिर भी अगर आपने 2-4 मेडिकेशंस के नाम लिख भी दिए और खासकर निकोबेट बैचेस के बारे में लिख दिया, तो दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम, रादर इट इज अ गुड थिंग. बट इन डिस्चार्ज प्लान वी हैव नॉट बीन गिवन अबाउट द मेडिकेशन, सो यू कैन अवॉइड इट. बट हाँ, बीपी को मॉनिटर करना है तो बीपी की मेडिकेशंस भी चलेंगी, तो यू कैन राइट इट. सो then during our hospitalization, knee exercises via the continuous passive movement machine were done, and pain relief was given as required. Diet was managed. Diet to help. Also, the diet was given to help to manage. Help word हटा दो बस. Diet was given to manage the Crohn's disease, and also cease smoking therapy was commenced. यहाँ पे छोटा सा was डालना है passive voice के लिए. BP was monitored every 4 hourly, and the patient started ambulating with crutches. जब भी आपको ये लाइन आए एम्बुलेटिंग या या फिर आए मूविंग विद द क्रचेस, तो हमेशा इस लाइन को ऐसे लिखना है: एंड द पेशेंट स्टार्टेड. पेशेंट ने शुरू कर दिया क्योंकि टोटल नी रिप्लेसमेंट हुई होगी, उसके बाद उसने वॉक नहीं किया होगा. सो पेशेंट स्टार्टेड एम्बुलेटिंग with the help of crutches. So that is what we have to remember. So that is how we do it. So always remember this line. जब भी पेशेंट वॉकिंग नहीं था और उसने चलना शुरू कर दिया, यानी पास्ट इंडेफिनिट में, यानी कि सेकंड फॉर्म, सो पेशेंट स्टार्टेड एम्बुलेटिंग या पेशेंट स्टार्टेड वॉकिंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ क्रचेस. तभी ये डाटा इसके साथ रिलेट होता है कि क्रचेस के साथ तो आप प्लीज उसको हेल्प करो कि वो इंडिपेंडेंटली वॉक करे. पोस्ट नी ऑपरेशन एंड CRX डन, कोई उसमें कोई बेकार चेंज नहीं है, तो मतलब इसको लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, या ये कह सकते हो द इम्प्रूवमेंट वाज परफेक्ट, तो इम्प्रूवमेंट ठीक हो रही है. सो अब आप देख ही रहे हो मेडिकेशन की जरूरत नहीं है, डाटा हमारे पास इनफ है. तो अब मैं आपको पूरा लेटर बोल के दिखा देता हूँ एक बार. आई एम राइटिंग दिस लेटर रिगार्डिंग मिस्टर लोसन हु वाज एडमिटेड टू अवर हॉस्पिटल फॉर राइट टोटल नी रिप्लेसमेंट and also was having osteohypertension and Crohn's disease. During hospitalization, required management was given and his condition has improved, and now he has started walking with the help of crutches, but the patient is being referred to you for further rehabilitation so that he can walk independently. That is my first paragraph. Second paragraph: Mr. Lawson is a heavy smoker and is a known case of osteoarthritis, hypertension and Crohn's disease. अगर आपने फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ में नहीं लिखा, अगर लिखा है तो बस is a heavy smoker and is an active golf was an active golfer before the onset of osteoarthritis. Also, he lives with his wife and is currently on medications after total knee replacement, and also has been taking medications for his Crohn's disease as well as for blood pressure. Apart from this, Nicobit patches are also being given now on the sliding scale of 20 mg, so as to help him to quit smoking. During hospitalization, third paragraph, During hospitalization, knee exercises via the continuous passive movement machine were exercises were exercises were assisted, yeah, were demonstrated, and the pain relief therapy was given as per the requirement. Along with that, diet was given to manage his Crohn's disease, and also cease smoking therapy was commenced. Further blood pressure was monitored for every 4 hourly, and his and as a result, यहाँ पे एक connector लगा सकते हो. As a result, patient started walking with the help, ambulating with the help of crutches. So you can write, and इस वाली लाइन को इससे कनेक्ट कर सकते हो कि विद द हेल्प ऑफ द नी एक्सरसाइजेस पेशेंट स्टार्टेड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ द exercises via the continuous passive movement machine. The patient started ambulating with the help of crutches, and now the patient is being referred to your ward with the knee brace, and it would be greatly appreciated if you could commence the intensive rehabilitation therapy to get the patient walking independently. Along with this, encourage the patient to quit smoking to help his Crohn's disease, and blood pressure should be monitored twice daily. And after that, patient would be discharged, and now the patient is being discharged from our end. तो ये वाली लाइन लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि ये यही कहना चाहता है. वैसे यहाँ पे लिख भी सकते हो, पेशेंट शुड बी डिस्चार्ज आफ्टर 2 weeks विद हिज वाइफ. सो ये भी लिख सकते हो, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मेरे को कैसे पता लगा कि ये रिहेबिलिटेशन वार्ड की बात हो रही है, क्योंकि अभी तो हमारे हॉस्पिटल से हम सेम हॉस्पिटल के रिहेबिलिटेशन वार्ड को लिख रहे हैं. सेम हॉस्पिटल है, हेनरी हॉस्पिटल. हमारा हॉस्पिटल कौन सा था? हमारे हॉस्पिटल का नाम नहीं दिया, तो हम भी हेनरी हॉस्पिटल के होंगे मोस्ट प्रोबेबली. बट हम ऐसा रिस्क नहीं लेंगे. लेकिन ऐसा मान लेते हैं कि हमारे हॉस्पिटल के रिहेबिलिटेशन वार्ड को हम लेटर लिख रहे हैं कि आप पेशेंट को रखो और इसको 2 हफ्ते के बाद डिस्चार्ज कर देना. और मेरे को कैसे पता लगा कि ये डिस्चार्ज होम, क्योंकि यहाँ पे लिखा है होम आफ्टर 2 weeks, तो उसको घर वापस जाना है 2 weeks के बाद. सो ही शुड बी डिस्चार्ज आफ्टर 2 weeks विद हिज वाइफ. ठीक है, so that is how you will complete the letter. So I think I have spoken it well. Still, I will take your doubts and your questions, but I'm just going to stop the recording so that make it simple. Again, I understand that I speak fast. I understand I do it in a quick way. I do it quick so that you should not get bored while listening to the recording. That's why I'm quick in my speaking. Otherwise, I can be slow as well. Of course, you know that during discussion part, I'm very slow, but it's just about so that you do not get bored. So I have to talk more swiftly. But at the end of the day, you should listen to it 2 3 times so that you can understand each and everything. If there is any point you cannot understand, try to listen that point again. Try to listen that point again. So if you will listen to it 2 3 times, you would be able to understand. But still, if you would have doubts, you can put your queries in comment box, as well as also for you guys who are taking the classes at the moment from Dr. BKM Institutes, I would be taking your questions, of course. So thank you very much. I'm stopping the recording for now, and then I'm ready to take your questions.